Oh wait, probably help if I was standing in front of the microphone, huh? Hopefully you announce yourself if you haven't already. But I just got the new starter box for Age of Sigmar, 4th edition. I figured I'll just talk about my thoughts on 3rd edition and anything else while I build some models. So, yeah. I got the full box, I didn't put it with anybody. So, we have Stormcast and Skater. If you guys have any requests for what you want to see built, feel free to request. But otherwise, I'm just going to start with Stormcast Heroes. I just realized I'll pause this for a second. There we go. Can't zoom in because the free version of the app does not allow me to zoom in. Never let it be said that I would pay full price for anything. So, if you're new to putting together models, feel free to ask questions as well, such as like what any of these things are. Yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it. It's a big box, by the way. Been hidden around, it's big. The cardboard box. The cardboard is not as thick as some of the previous boxes. Some of the previous boxes made for excellent carrying cases because they had like a really nice card stock. These are pretty thin. They're like this normal Game Workshop box. At least those. Yeah. With that, start with the box comes with books, like hardcover books. 20 dozen models. It's a lot. I think it's 40 gaming. 10 level. Yeah, I think it's a lot of models. I don't remember the exact number. Most of it is it also comes with all of the stuff which are here. For its sort of tournament that rules that they're doing. Awesome. The art looks really nice. That's just cool. I did play a game earlier today of Spearhead. Played a couple of 2K games on tabletop simulator. They went alright. Spearhead actually really fun. That was one of the things I wanted to talk about at some point. Oh, one of the things I totally forgot to mention. One of the things they put in with the terrain is a measuring stick. Like for your belt, one is 6 inches, one is 3 inches, and then you can put them together to make a 9-inch spacer for measuring how distant it is in the game, because everything's based on inches. And 3, 6, and 9 are all three like really popular measurements, like really common measurements to need. So just having them ready on little sticks in the box and being able to like put them together, take them apart, it's really cool. They have a little last on them. Let's start with the big mountain. Let's start with this would be Lord Veritan, Warlock Engineer with so. Put this back here. I don't know how long you guys can see it. I can see it, which is really what GW has kind of a system where they number it, and generally what they number it is like the order in which you need to put together. But sometimes that's not the case. So it's always good to keep an eye out for it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to snip out some pieces. Start with first like row up here, and then we'll move our way down. And we can talk about like the lore of these guys while I'm putting them together as well, if you guys want. These guys are the Lord Veritant, yeah. Lord Veritant is like a witch hunter type guy. The whole thing is they can like see, they can like sense if something is lying to them or if like something is evil. They're just like full on power. So you know I love them. This one, really cool. It's got a big flaming staff, a flaming sword, and a blindfold. So you just look super dope. Now, all all the starter stuff is push to fit, or push fit, which is to say that it is designed to be put together without needing any glue. You push the pieces together and they will fit together with push fit. There's some advantages to this. Number one, like most notably, it allows anybody to buy a box and start putting them together. So they pretty much all of their starter boxes, like beginner-friendly boxes, are going to be push fit. You don't need any glue for them if you don't have any. Nice. You also don't generally need to do what I'm doing, which is shaving off any mold line. I just do it because I think it makes the final project a little bit better. Sometimes some models have pretty bad mold line. These ones look alright so far. The one thing I am going to push fit is the feet onto the bases, because we're going to want to take the feet off to paint the bases down the line. So I don't want to glue them down yet. This is something that I made a mistake in with previous guys. I did glue them down. So now I have to like pull them off their bases with brute force and or a knife and hope that it doesn't ruin the model too much or the paint too much. Yeah. Yes, it's pretty solid on like not having very big mold line. So hopefully that's the case with the rest of the box. But we'll see. And obviously it doesn't look like much when it's getting put together like this. It looks like a bunch of gray bits of plastic from here, I'm sure. But you'll see it come together as we build it. I have been paid before by local area guides to put together their models for them, if they find it tedious or annoying. I personally like doing it. It's relaxing, it's fun. So, yeah. Just wanted to double check. Alright. Yep. So, all we need to do is be careful about where, making sure that it's going in the right spot. Like this comes out the other end. So, guessing there's something else that goes over this. I'm not gonna glue it yet then. Yeah, looking further ahead, it looks like there's a cape that goes onto his back. Her back? That's her. It's a little hard to tell sometimes. Stormcast. Too hard, I suppose. Yeah. So we'll keep these separate for now until we need to glue them down. But we'll add, cut out B6, B5, and B4. 6 is the front plate. The mode 5 is the flaming sword. And 4 is the one of the legs, the other leg, I guess. I generally like cutting out the models in groups so that I can kind of keep them nice and organized. I know some people prefer to cut out like everything that they need for a model, doing it all at once, but while having all the pieces cut out. I think that, I don't know, whenever I do that, I tend to like lose pieces, so I try not to do that very often. guess I can talk about my thoughts on the game so far. It's good. I think 4th edition is going to be real good. Um, I guess let me think of more like comprehensive thoughts than that. Spearhead is, I think, even more fun than the actual like base 2,000 point game. I have a feeling like it might end up being more popular than people give it credit for. It's not the like play in 40 minutes or play, or during a lunch break kind of game that I think they marketed it as. If you want a game going that fast, you should play Warcry. But it is quick. It's generally not more than like an hour and a half at most. With most games, I think capping around an hour, in my experience. From what I've seen with other people, and from what I played earlier today, I think we had an hour and 10 minutes, give or take, in our game. And then the next game after that was like an hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, but I think it's around that long. Obviously, we were still learning, so we didn't know all the rules off the top of our head. We didn't have everything memorized, none of that. I think as you learn the game, you get faster and faster, obviously, which means that games will go faster and faster. So I think we'll start seeing games hitting that 40-minute point once there's a bunch of games, once people have a bunch of games in. But yeah, I think the first couple of games might be like an hour, hour and a half, and then it'll start to get faster. The actual game itself, I guess I haven't played a full 5-round game yet, but I did see a couple of people playing them today at the shop playing, and apparently it came down to pretty close by round 4. Yeah. For Spearhead, I played not the Spearhead Stormcaster in this box, but the previous one. So Indra, Annihilator, those guys. It's really fun, that one is. It really feels like you're kind of struggling to hold on right up until the cavalry arrives on round 3, and then they just clean up. At one point, my opponent had almost twice as many victory points as I did. And then just in round 3 and 4, I was able to catch up and win. By table. At the end, at the end of round 4. So it's just one of those things where it feels really cool to have you guys barely be holding on, and then the cavalry shows up and saves their bacon. You should not do what I'm doing by plan. Not cut into something with your finger directly behind it. This is a good way to get cut. So, get this off. This is one of the ends for the pushing fit to make it, because it's like a peg and hole system. So they've got a little extra peg, and there's a hole that it matches into, and it'll slide in perfectly. Without needing glue. But I like to snip the ends off of them because I find that sometimes they make them just a little bit too long. And so it's important to, I think, kind of keep the important to sort of shave off the end just to make sure. And it'll still fit, it just won't. And I'm gluing it anyway, so it's not like it matters that much. That I'm cutting off the end, it would matter if I glue it and there's too much, like, plastic there, because then it gets in the way and pushes it back out. And then it doesn't, like, fit flush with itself. So, yeah. Alright. Oh wait, it goes on the other side this way. This side. Right. It's always important to dry fit it before you glue it. So make sure that it's fitting nice before you glue it. Then you won't, because otherwise you won't have a chance to check it. You might end up like melting the plastic a bit. In my case, not being able to pull it back out. There you go. This end off. Oh, the knife safety. You always cut away from yourself. Not cut towards you. That is a good way to cut yourself. Make sure that your fingers are not behind where the blade is going to come out. That's a good way to cut open your finger. I've done that too many times to count. Yeah. You gotta be careful with that. You don't need to do this, like go this in depth if you're just starting out. It's something I've sort of picked up over the years of doing that. And like, I do it because I think it works best. But everybody's got their own method. So, first we're going to glue. This is a really nice glue. This is not Game Workshop glue. Do not get their glue, it sucks. This is Fortite Mixed Cement. Get any kind of like similar thing. It's just plastic glue, but the main thing is that it has a little brush tip on the end, which makes it really nice for applying it. And this stuff is really liquidy. Makes it really nice to just sort of dot it on, press the thing into place, and pull it good. Okay, get it to press it. It's like, get it to going, there we go. It's also really nice because it's so liquidy, you can use it to fill the gaps really easily. So anytime you might have like gaps, you can quickly apply it and it'll instantly like sink into the gaps with capillary action. Okay. We're going to glue the sword into place and the leg into place. So leg go. Middle one? Okay, yeah. Right, you double check. If I had just tried to slot it in, I would have accidentally put it in the wrong spot, and it wouldn't have fit. And I would have sat there looking like an idiot. After ignoring my own advice. Sword in. Sorry, go check. Sigmar. Big. Yeah. Age of Sigma males. Anybody? What the Sigma? Yeah. Alright. Man, these two just pop together like that. So, together by one. Yeah. Okay. I always find it weird when they like have a detail and then it immediately gets obscured. Like the bottom half of this character's face is fully modeled and detailed. You cannot see it because the collar comes up too high. I don't know. I guess you can kind of see it. Can't see it super well, so makes me kind of wonder like why they would. I guess you would want to model it just in case, you know? And because, you know, the people are probably going to end up using bits and pieces for conversions and stuff. Like this head is big old conversion based. People are absolutely going to use this head for all number of different ideas. So I'm excited to see. So here's what I'm talking about with like filling gaps. It's a big old gap though. Not sitting flush. Pinch these two together. Apply just a little bit of the plastic glue and it'll sink right into that gap there. Start holding it together for us. Like that. I don't know if you can see the gap beforehand. Black Templar Star City sheet height is not possible. Oh! Except this model is female, so actually they're afraid of it. I say it's female, you can barely tell. Oh no, women. Not the woman. Yeah. It's pretty hard to tell. The only reason I can tell is because of how the breastplate. Hide the Crusade. Yeah, Hide the Crusade. The only reason I can tell is because of the breastplate. The Stormcast breastplate look more or less the same. It's just slightly like more pronounced in the front, and that's like it. There's not even like the plate anymore. Some of the earlier ones did have boot plate, now that I'm thinking about it. But none of the new ones have boot plate. So, yeah. Next up is the big old Voyager staff thing. This is that. And the other half of the top that you got with like a hot separate. Shave off the end. If you don't shave these nubs, they tend to look kind of noticeable, I think. They're not that big of a deal. A lot of the times they're not that noticeable, but if you make really like large cuts, but cut pretty far away from the plastic like I do, it'll be noticeable if you don't shave it back off. Oh hell yeah, dude. Let's go. It's also nice to sort of add a little, like, one of the things you can do is, I have a file here obviously, but one of the things you can do is if you have like a nice sharp blade like I do, you just quickly run it um, perpendicular to the plastic and it'll like lightly shave off the topmost bit, and it can help sort of hide bad cuts or extra plastic that you want gone without having to dig into it and accidentally take away too much art. Too much plastic. Mass art too, but still. And this could be a little bit more difficult. I don't know how well I can show it. The plastic here, I don't think I'm gonna be able to show. The like nub is right there, which means I have to cut between two pieces here. If I cut too hard, the knife will dig in and accidentally snip off the like spike there, which would be noticeable. So we're gonna try and be careful. And it's also a curved like object, which means I have to follow the curve with my knife and not dig into it too deep, or else it'll also be a little bit noticeable. Is it like, are you able to see what I'm doing exactly, or are you just kind of seeing that I'm doing something? Yes, I don't really know. Maybe I should switch to like a bigger model to make it more obvious like what I'm doing at any given time. Let me know one way or the other. You can also switch to Skaven if you guys would rather see Skaven get put together. I do have them too. Plenty of them. More than enough to ever. I have more than I can play a game with, to be honest. Many Skaven. That's my weapon check-in. Sure is. Saw a vibration there. That was my brother texting my phone. Even though I'm using my phone, it's my camera. Thanks. I don't know if he's watching. If he is watching, we can taunt him about that. We can also talk about like the lore for these guys. I mentioned it earlier. They're sort of like witch hunters. They like can see. They basically have like divine sense, like paladins do. They can see when something is lying or when something is like evil or cursed. And the way they've been working, the thing, like the change for them for this big edition change is they are working with the new guy, the Ruination Chamber, who are technically the old guy who just died and respawned too many times. They've been working with them to like keep what remains of their souls sort of purified. Yeah. And the base of the model so far is already good. A clean ass pose. Up next are the back parts of the robe. 3 and 9. Alright, there we go. It was fucking pouring out of here. Like, flash flood condition where I was. It was kind of wild, actually. Um, there was a booming of thunder while we were playing that was so loud, it was like actual fucking artillery or something. So, yeah, that's like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, they broke a little bit earlier up here, I think, but yeah, it was wild. I'd like wait for the rain to start subsiding before I could move my stuff back into my car or out from my car into the apartment. It was flooded. Yeah, it was completely flooded. I don't know if it's still flooded, but like I had to drive through it to get back home, and yeah, they like turned off the lights and everything. The like stop lights and stuff. They just straight up turned them off because like people weren't gonna be able to drive through it. Not that people weren't trying. Yeah, it was wild. Um, wasn't too bad when I drove through it. I was one of those idiots driving through it. um, but yeah, it was pretty bad. Back like this. This peg here. Oh, on the back. Oh, it's got a shield on the back. Okay. That is true. Yeah. And it's right next to the river, the lake there. With their dam. Yeah, definitely compared to the mountain. It was bad. John, the store owner, stepped out for like less than 30 seconds. He like stepped out, went to grab something from his car. One of the guys locked the doors on him, so he couldn't get back in as a joke, which was very funny, but he was fucking soaked by the time he came back in. It was crazy. Um, there's Stormcast IRL, something. I was winning too hard, they showed up, they manifested. Oh, having played now, first impression. Stuff is genuinely tougher now in the game. Obviously, unless you bring in like the kill everything unit that is Stormdrake Guard. Um, but beyond that, obviously, everything's a lot tougher. Um, I did not play that. I only played Spearhead. I played Indrasted Spearhead. Um, and like I don't know, I wasn't like struggling to deal damage. I did damage plenty fine. It's just that like I was struggling to like finish off units and completely destroy them in one round. It was often like battles were often having to take multiple rounds to resolve. Um, which I think is good. Um, I think making it a little bit harder to just delete everything off the table and table your opponent is a good thing. Um, and I think stuff having like dedicated rules for helping to take out certain things is good. I think once people get over like playing the big bad monster unit um, that are intentionally overcosted right now, once people like stop doing that, the meta is going to shift to like bringing a bunch of guys, and the counter meta is going to be being able to kill all those guys. Um, so stuff that's more anti like ward focus is going to be good, and like wards are going to be good. That's my like guess. Battle Shock's not existing anymore. It, oh, it was very crazy. Like, just one of the things is that in third and earlier than that, you could reliably kill a unit by killing like 70% of a unit or 80% of a unit, and then the rest fleeing from Battle Shock. And that was like how you destroyed units in the game. You can't really do that. You have to be able to kill them in one go. Especially because some of these hordes have a lot of recursion. They're constantly coming back. So if you can't like reliably deal with that, or make them irrelevant on objective, they're tough. It's tough to deal with them. Up next is shoulder pads and the shield. I really like the shoulder pad, like a wolf skull. Thick as shit. There's a lot more skull motifs on these guys. Black Templar stonks. Very good, but I think they're still good. I actually think they're good too. I think they're gonna be good. They're not gonna be the like delete and delete in one turn good like they were in the past. I think they're good at something else now, which is being a semi-elite unit on an objective, protecting a hero. Foot heroes feel like they matter. I know like the list building and like army building incentive is to take as few as you can, but they actually do feel really useful on the table. And that, that is coming from me, the guy who constantly likes playing foot heroes, even though they're bad and have been bad for 3 editions. So take that with a grain of salt, but I don't know. At no point with my foot heroes have I felt like like they weren't doing anything. Amazing Anvil now, it's the worst hammer. Kind of lost SPG what's going in the hammer. Oh, Blood Knight's still a hammer? I feel like that's a big hammer unit now. I could be wrong. because I didn't really look at what they have that closely. Obviously, you talked about the Black Knights earlier. Um, I think Black Knight plus White King is still going to be a really solid hammer. Trying to think what else would be good. Yeah. I don't know. You know, if you like the meta gets the whole one night Black Knight is good actually. One night of anti-infantry, that, yeah. I think that's what we're gonna kind of see, like larger blocks of infantry, and or the unit that can deal with those larger blocks of infantry. Yeah. But, alright. So we'll put the wolf skull, shoulder pad on here. So cool. Something I'm noticing is that even with the eggs, they still have like ball and socket fit together, which I think is new. I don't think they've done that before for a lot of their push fit stuff. So that is nice to see, because one of the issues is if your push fit doesn't fit, it really doesn't fit. It's like noticeably bad when your push fit does not fit well. So they've added like a little ball and socket addition to parts of the plastic so that it will fit better, which I think is a good addition. It's a nice like quality of life thing. Looks like it is, but I love it. It is. Push fit runs or ball socket. The one from the one from Leviathan. I don't think they were. I don't remember them having ball and socket like addition. Like, let me see if I can find kind of an example of what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know. It's really small, so you're not gonna. No, they're not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not. Real small, so you're not gonna be able to see it, but I can see like little tiny GW8 40K. Yeah. Listen, they don't have good model designers. They use Shadmar, and I don't know how well you can tell, but there's like a little divot in the cape here that match up with where the shield is going to go. So even if you don't do the push fit perfectly right, the divot will fit. That's new. I think that's new. I don't remember that being the case in the Leviathan box. I only built the Space Marine thing. They've been doing that forever? Okay. Feels more useful here? I don't know. Feels more useful here, I guess is what I'm getting at. Like this push fit is fitting really well. I'm like barely having to add any extra glue to make it fit. The Leviathan was alright too. on the dominant assault and said the best. You know, I know. How do you know? Per se. Would it be because you cut off 90% of them? And that was like how you fit them together? Alright, that is that metal drum. Next up is the burb. It is, I think it's not a griff, like a griff crow, this one is. One of the things they talked about when they were like talking about designing the model is giving a more Corvid look to a lot of the bird aesthetics that some of the Stormcats have, and to the griff models that some of the Stormcats have, like as pets or as mounts. So you'll see it on the big guy whenever we get to him. But it's like a full-on like fucking crane-looking thing. It is not a regular like eagle or a raptor. It's pretty cool. I think it's a unique look because they're trying to go for like a darker or look. Or not just like grim. Which and I think it pays off, at least for the Griff Hound. So I've always found the Griff Hound to be a little goofy looking sometimes, especially if they're painted not great. And the reason why I basically never run them, except an individual pet for the occasional hero here or there. I think they don't look great. This one nice and simple put together, it's just three pieces. And it actually goes on a 25mm base, which is surprisingly small. It's actually really small, what the fuck? Pretty sure the Dominion one was on a 32, and I thought that one was small. The regular Griff Hounds, the ones that like come in a box that's fixed and can be played as a regular unit, are 40mm bases, like the rest of the Stormcast. I'm actually like kind of surprised that this one's so small. I guess if they like knew ahead of time that this was just going to be a token and not like a playable, like it doesn't have any rules as like attacks or anything, they can make it smaller. They don't have to worry about it being like the same size as their companions. Which is nice. I really like the token tool, by the way. A lot of units that have like pets like this, they're no longer like an extra model, they're just a token that gets put on next to them, and whenever they would get removed, they just get removed. They don't get like counted for damage or anything. It's really nice. I think it lets you sort of customize a little bit more too. You're not having to like play, you know, it's not WYSIWYG. It's a pretty shag peg though. So I didn't put it all together. And I'll slap them on bases. I'm not going to glue them to the bases yet because I want to be able to do my airbrush with the bases before I. And it would be impossible to take off if I did glue them on. Ask me how I know that. one of the things I noticed with the map when I looked at the book, the maps have changed. Like the actual physical where things are, some of it's changed. Some of the continents have moved. In Gur, the continents have literally gotten closer because they're all giant predator beasts that are attacking one another. So there used to be like a big, like strait between two of the continents in Gur, which is the realm of beasts. The new map, they are literally like closer, physically closer. The gap there is gone, not as big, which is, I think, super cool. Um, they also showed on the map. They showed a whole bunch of stuff, but one of the things one of the things they showed, shapeshift that I don't think I've seen anybody point out online yet is they had Hashut forges as one of the things that were showing up on the map. And they showed up on a few of the maps, not all of them. A couple of the more chaos-owned ones. But anyway, yet more, I guess, confirmation that we're probably getting Chaos Dwarves sometime during 4th edition. There's also mention of them here and there. So, yeah, expect Chaos Dwarves. Oh, shit. What, 25 mil? Nah, there's no way that's a 25 mil. Doesn't even fit. It's gotta be 32. Okay. They must have just mislabeled it. UW making a mistake on their instructions? They would never. How could they? Could it be impossible? Alright. There we go, that fits a lot better. Put this guy. Save. And again, we're not closing it down because I want to be able to move the base later, so keep them. This is just to keep them on the base for now. Pop them off, move them down. What have we actually done today? It's kind of annoying until I wiggle them out. Whatever. That's our first set of heroes. I'm gonna take a bathroom break, but you guys tell me what I should build next. A whole bunch of hero options in both Stormcast and Skaven while I go to the bathroom. I suppose we can build the next guy. Uh, then we can find to the Alright, we have on looks like Glacier and the Engineer. So, go to the pages for that. You guys are like 3 or 4.3. We'll do the Engineer first, and then the Glacier. It seems like they'll be real quick and simple. 22 and 23. Like shaving off. One of the things with this box specifically is that it's kind of not a great deal to get more. Get a number of heroes that you don't really need more than one of. For both sides, but especially for Stormcast. Even if you do get a lot of troops, you do get a lot of Skaven troops that are really, and decent amount of Stormcast troops that are really solid too. But you also get a bunch of heroes that aren't. At best, you can build a second one for some of them, and then use the rest as like conversion fodder, so like make. Like modify and add new things or change things for them. That way you just end up with extra heroes that you don't need more than one of. So it's kind of a I think Stormcast gets that way harder than Skaven do. Skaven get plenty of stuff that they do want extras of, including some heroes that they want extras of, like the Glacier and Engineer. But Stormcast, like I don't need a second Lord Mage Stormcast. One is plenty. I probably never get to play 2 in one army, so there's not much point in playing, but in getting a second box. And then that also includes like, this comes with 2 books, so both Spearhead and all the cool stuff. You don't need 2 of those. If you're splitting with a friend, it's fine for them to get the book, and if you got like both a box for yourself and split one with a friend, like for some reason, then they can get the book. You already have them. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Oh, there's also a like, I don't know what they call it. Competition sort of. Basically, basically almost. Where you play out a game with your bud, and then you record the result online, and it'll determine like an in-game thing. So in this case, it's the fate of a city. I know for 40K they did it for the fate of a planet, with the Leviathan box. Yeah, I think it's cool. I like that. It just sort of player engagement. I do think it ends up kind of becoming a popularity contest because like don't actually need to play a game when your friend can just say that you know that your Skaven won over the Stormcast, or that your Stormcast won over the Skaven, and like that's it. So like I remember it being a big shock for 40K because the Space Marine, who normally win these things because they're like the most popular faction and it's not even close, lost. And I think it just ended up being because everybody else was tired of them winning all the time, so everybody else just voted for them to lose a bunch. And even still, they almost won. And I know in the past, GW had not honored the actual result, or just kind of made up their own answer. Like I think, forget. I know there was a big controversy with that in the past with one of those like type of events, world events, whatever you call them. And I don't remember which one, but I think it was like fairly obvious that GW was playing favorites with one of the factions. That like they wanted a specific outcome to happen, so they just sort of said that was the outcome that got to happen. I don't know. I think it'd be cooler if instead of like a big binary voting system, it would. I don't know. Alright. That's like one big sniper. The shoulder piece with a rat on it. I love it. I forgot to turn off my fan. That's why it's so cool in here. Alright. I was wondering why it was like slightly colder than usual. Why I kept feeling a breeze. Even though the only thing that's on is my air conditioner. I have my fan on full blast as well. So that's possibly audible too. To finish. And then I'm gonna go turn off my fan. Okay. Let's get this bread gamer. Or as Gavin might say, let's get this bread game rat. I don't know. I got a robot leg, by the way. Really cool. I forgot to cut out the shoulder pad. I don't know how well you can see, but flat on the shoulder. Chilling there. Vibing. No think, head empty. Dry fit there. There we go. Wet. Wet. I'm sorry. Nothing. Another one. There's a jet kickers in a 30 female base, okay? Might have forgotten to give me a 32 female baby. 92. Got fucking robbed. Oh wow. No. No. It's all over. It's all over. All over. They forgot to give me a 40 mil base. Not a 40 mil base. They forgot to give me a 32 mil base. Oh, okay. I wonder if what happened was it's written 25 mil base. So they put an extra 25 mil base. This is not a 25 mil base though. This is a 32 mil. So what I'm betting happened is they put what, two 32 mil bases because there were only two on the instruction here. But there's actually three that they need. So yeah, it's Swift Crow is just not getting a base. I do have a bunch of bases in a box. So I'm gonna look through those and see if I have any 32 mil. Yeah, I can go if I can find the push fit. Oh, that's the 28 mil. Okay. I'm purely curious on go ahead and run through these. Yeah, if I have one. Another 28 mil, I'd say. All over. All Jover. I don't have any push fit 32. I don't have any push fit 32. I hate using push fit 32 if I can. If I don't have to. I just not base those. I can't push fit 28. You know what? Let's try a push fit 28. If Maybe it'll fit on it. It just barely fits on it. Okay, 28.5. Not gonna fit there. Not gonna fit off it. You can find a hat piece. Down, but no fucking backboard. I want to put away all these faces. That's all over again. Wondering why I'm so like up in arms about this size. It honestly it's not that big of a deal, but I don't like overhang on the base, and in the game base size is generally something for a token piece like this where it literally doesn't like fight or anything. It doesn't matter that much. It just needs to be able to sit next to him and not be like too obstructive, because it can be moved if it needs to be. For token pieces, but otherwise, like, yeah. It honestly wasn't that big of a deal. I was making a mountain out of a 40 mil base out of a 20 mil base. 25 mil base. Wow. What the finished guy looks like, by the way, if you were wondering. Got a little telescope, got a rat on his shoulder, he's got a big old sniper, got a robot leg. Pretty cool. Right. Now we'll build the glacier, and this should be this entire spur done. Guy's a lot, this guy got more pieces. 16, 17. Now, I don't really need another glacier. I already have one on foot and one on a streaming bell, but frankly, glaciers are good enough that, like, I mean, why not, you know? Maybe I will play 3 glaciers in one game one day, who knows? Maybe I'll play 4. Yeah, I don't know. Just one of those, like, nice to have an extra wizard in your back pocket, you know? I was actually surprised when I saw that they were redoing this model, because I don't think the actual Glacier model looks that bad. Nor do I think it's that old. I think it's only about a decade old. Which, for Games Workshop models, is hardly the oldest thing, and definitely not the oldest thing in this game in line. Like, please. Udale did it up to Squire Weapon Team. Any of them. Literally any of the Squire Weapon Teams. The Glacier getting revamped is a surprise, I think. Although, it's not bad, it's a nice model. And, yeah. I think the modeling team generally prefer to do single heroes rather than big like model revamp with a whole bunch of stuff, just because it's a lot of resources to do a whole bunch of stuff. Um, Especially with how detailed some of these models are getting. So, yeah, I think they just prefer doing single like foot heroes, which I can get behind. I like my single foot heroes. If only the game would ever make them good. But no, the rules writers always make foot heroes bad. For some reason. It's just not true. They make them alright, it's just that like the other heroes, the cooler stuff, is never like a regular foot guy. It's always some guy on a fucking dragon, or big horse, or rhinoceros, or flying. So, yeah. Not only do I have a glacier, I have a glacier that I've fully painted. Which is a rarity for me. I do not have many fully painted models that I consider done. So, gives me a chance to paint a new one. Different colors, different method. The one that I made, I used purple for the road. Purple and black with more like bright green highlights. Maybe I could do something different this time. Still bright green, of course, but something else. Maybe black and purple would make it in, but maybe we use blue to show that he's from a rival clan. We do like a tattered green to go along with the bright green warp stones. Really cool that this guy's like sitting up on top of a screaming bell, by the way, like a broken bell. It just looks thick as shit. But the old one he's just sitting on the ground, standing there. He's got an alright pose, but he's just kind of standing there. So it's cool to see that it's like a little bit more pizzazz. Even if I do always make fun of Games Workshop for their dumbass tactical locks. When it's a tactical screaming bell, I think that's fine. Space Marine players can take a few lessons. What lines on the underside of this? It's one of those things that like nobody will ever notice. But still. Now we can put them together. Oh, he's got armor on. The old one just in robes, he doesn't have any armor on. This guy does. Solid whack. Metal Gear Solid whack. Metal Gear Rat Vengeance. Alright. Yeah, this push fit's really good compared to some of the older ones that I've worked with. Like I don't feel like I'm losing much detail. One of the other downside push fit is that you pretty much like have to put it together how they intend to put it together. Which again, like if you're just starting it literally doesn't matter. Like how they intended you to put it together is how you're going to put it together anyway. So like you were never gonna change. But like if you want to do something like say conversion where you know add some stuff or take away some stuff or change some stuff here or there, it makes it a little bit harder. Because it is physically not designed to go any other way. So you have to really like put a ton of effort in making it change. One of the things with plastic glue that it doesn't just like make it stick or whatever. It's not like sticky like regular glue. It is actually melting down the plastic and re-hardening it. So so because it's melting it down, one of the things you can do is if you unglue something like glue, plastic glue, you can apply a tiny little bit of plastic glue over it again, and it will loosen it back up. It'll loosen the bond back up because it's melting it back down. I wouldn't recommend doing this very often, like at all. But if you need to fix something or take two things apart, that's like what you can do. It's what I've been having to do with the bases to get the Stormcast off their bases because I was a fool and I glued them down with plastic glue. Now it's really hard to get them off those bases. I basically have to like slide plastic glue under where they're standing and then go at it with a knife to sort of loosen it back up. That last piece out too while we're at it. Full proof. Another thing that's like basically never any waste with push fit glue because you end up using every piece. As opposed to somebody like regular box sets, where with the regular box sets you have options a lot of the time because it's not push fit, so you have a lot more options like weapons or faces or poses, that kind of thing. So those extra options you never end up using them; they just get left on the sprue and kind of just sit there unless you start doing a bunch of kit bashing. And even then, if you do a bunch of kit bashing, it's still going to sit on the sprue, and that entire sprue is going to be taking up space. So what I've ended up doing is I've ended up cutting out a lot of the stuff off of the sprue, putting it in a big old bucket, You actually saw me pull out that bucket earlier for the base. I have like one of those hobby drawers that can be put on wheels or whatever. Just 3 drawers, one for bases and basing material, and possibly extrude or resin stuff that I like printed. One for 40k and sci-fi stuff in general, and one for Age of Sigmar and fantasy stuff in general. That way, they're sort of hodgepodge together. If I want to, I can just pull out the big box, maybe look at some inspiration, get inspired by what I grab, that kind of thing. It's pretty handy. One thing is, a lot of pieces are like meant to go together, and if I don't glue those together, and they didn't, if I don't glue those together, they're just in a pile somewhere, and I have to like find them if I want to put them together. Which I could do, because I know where it is, I just need to find the actual piece. One of those, like, maybe I should have thought ahead thing. But then I would have had to, like, glue them together, and that would have been tedious. Oh, I don't know. Like, the whole point was to cut down on how many glues I had just sort of laying around. It turned out it accrued. You end up with quite a few by the time that you are, 4 or 5 years into a hobby. And unfortunately, I don't really think they're like recyclable. Right. One of the reasons I don't like cutting with the clipper too close to the plastic, like with the plastic that you need to paint on, is because the clippers pinch the plastic together to push it like out. So it'll like pinch at a point and that'll like separate it. The issue with that is that if you're too close to the plastic you want to paint, it might paint together details that you were going to paint, and possibly ruin some of the detail. It's not good. If you like painting excellently detailed models, generally you don't want a bunch of pinched together break up models, you know? Maybe you do, I don't know. I don't know. For a second I thought this guy had like 2 or 3 tails, you know? Just flowing robes. Hell yeah, that's him done. Oh wait, I forgot to put the bottom piece of the bell on. Whoops. Anytime you get glue on your hands, like this type of glue, it's not dangerous. I think. I think. Um, not dangerous, but get toxic. We'll say that. But always be sure to like wipe it off before you go touching the plastic, because otherwise you'll leave a big old fingerprint right on that plastic. It is fixable if that happens, but it's annoying to have to fix, so best to just avoid doing that. So cool. Like, so much detail. 16 times the detail. What's that even from? Who said that? What was that from? Why do I remember that? Like, went fully in my head. This one we can just go right down onto the base because it literally covers the entire base. So there's no point in doing anything under it except the whole base. We're just gonna add glue right onto the bottom here. Well, there's kind of a noticeable gap between the base and the cover here. I don't know if they're gonna fix that. Well. Okay. Finished Glacier. Very dynamic looking. What fucking detail on these guys, holy shit. Alright. We'll take a quick break. I'll still be here, but gonna drink some water. And we'll decide what we want to make next. We got a message earlier, so let's check that. Turn off the camera, but you guys don't mind. I want to keep making heroes. Keep making heroes. But on the Skaven side, we have Mountain Hero, Rattle, which I guess is one count, and Warp Blaster, which is Stormcast side, you have Mountain Hero, or Night Quest for Warriors of Summer. I want to do the Lloyd comic. Yep, that big old brew here. Back to over the rat. Lord Terminal. This guy is just straight up T-posing with an axe. It should be a fairly simple model. You know, like a couple pieces here or there. Right. 27, 26, 27, 20. Okay. Good. Trying to figure out where on the brew it was. What they kind of all over the place. Right his head. Yep. I do wish the head had a little bit more flair. It's kind of generic Stormcast looking. Got a little bit more detail, but I wish it looked a little cooler. Like, I don't know what I'd add though. Maybe. I was gonna say maybe it look more like Death Masky, but I mean it's a Death Mask. That's what it is. We'll throw in 29 while we're at it. Part of the main body. I don't know. Maybe more skull-like. Maybe if that would. If it was more skull-like, I think I'd like it a lot more. But a sort of like callback to one of the Stormcast early heroes. The whole thing is that they've got like a skull helmet. It's, of course, lifted from Space Marines, but like Stormcast do it better, so fuck off. I did recently get an old DSLR camera from my parents' house, so maybe I'll try using that as my camera for the next stream if I can figure out how to get that set up and like if it even works as a streaming camera. It might not, I don't know for sure. Might be locked to 30 frames per second. We'll see how it goes. With this, because of how it's posed, might be a solid idea to just snip off the bottom of the feet here and stick him right onto a base instead of onto like the terrain, the like tactical rock thing that he's standing on. It looks like it's just kind of rubble that he's standing on, and I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Yep. Turned off the AC and I could like immediately hear the music now through the headphones. So, and like I couldn't before because the AC was, I guess, too loud, but I didn't realize because it was just kind of in the background. Hope it didn't sound loud on that stream or anything. Although I think my noise suppression is good enough that you guys wouldn't have been able to hear it. Go right in there. Yep. It's right in. And the headpiece. It's right in as well. Shorten it by quite a bit there. Maybe a little too much cut off, but we'll see. This one's probably my favorite looking model out of the bunch. It's just so simple and effective. Like, it just fucking works. Just a dude fucking power dancing. He's hero maxing. He's ancient warrior maxing. Ancient guardian of the tomb. It's similar to what his lore is. He's basically the executioner of Stormcast who are kind of too far gone, as it were. The Stormcast whole like lore is that they're basically immortal, like they're humans who were sort of who died like a glorious death and were picked up by the god Sigmar and reforged into these like immortal warriors. The issue is now reforging has a bit of an issue. Every time they get like they respawn that way, they lose a little bit of themselves. And it's never like super clear or obvious what it's going to be every time. So like sometimes they lose memories from their previous life, sometimes they lose memories of their life as a Stormcast, sometimes their like voice changes, or their eyes change, or their they stop sort of feeling emotions in the same way. It sort of varies from Stormcast to Stormcast, and how severe it is varies from Stormcast to Stormcast as well. Like some of them, it's only a couple reforgings, and some of them they just keep going and going and going until finally ends up like they end up burning out or whatever. It's pretty obvious that it's meant to be a sort of not one-to-one allegory, but like an allegory for the like dehumanizing nature of war, and like, you know, what super soldiers are kind of like. It does it a lot better than Space Marines do. Um, and they've been really playing into it with their lore. Like, these guys are like the final stage of Stormcast. They're where you start getting like past this point, they start turning into just full-on like lightning ghosts. Um, which we still haven't gotten a model for. But I would be interested in seeing what that looked like. Big old cape. And one of the like design choices that they said, that they mentioned, and that is pretty obvious, is that like these guys have a lot of purity seals or like, you know, text scrolls on them and like chains and stuff, and it's meant to sort of, they're meant to be like on those chains are written like great deeds in their previous lives, so that they can remember and just sort of hold on to their humanity for just a little bit longer. Which is both really tragic and heartbreaking, and also the dopest fucking thing I've ever heard. Imagine you walk up to a dude, and he's in full plate armor, and all over that armor it's scrawled his fucking deed as a warrior. And he starts fucking recounting them at you. And then he parries you. And you're like, shit. And you realize that you're the fucking protagonist of a FromSoft game. Yeah, they went full on like FromSoft with some of these designs, by the way. Like, it's pretty clear that somebody in the studio, or multiple people in the studio, have been playing Elden Ring and got more than a little inspired, for sure with the Stormcast, at least. Like, some of these guys just look like fucking boss designs for a FromSoft game. A little bit of an error, it looks like, on one of the scrolls here. Like, kind of squaggly looking at the end of extra plastic. Although maybe it's supposed to. I just clipped it away thinking it was an error. My bad. That was the case. Fucking massive shoulder pad, by the way. Look at the delts on this man. Cut the back of this off. What's next? The front is sort of arms forward. Where is that piece? Oh, it is. And we'll also cut out the shoulder pad and the axe. The one shoulder pad, yeah. This one looks like a bear skull. on the shoulder for the shoulder pad. They started doing gold for the shoulder pads rather than just animal faces, which I think sort of helps to highlight the I guess deathly nature of these guys. Here's the axe. Shoulder pad. I'm just realizing the terrain feature is there. The little tactical rock is there because the axe is otherwise too long. It goes down below where his feet would go when it's down like that, so he needs to be standing on the rock. Just like, why not just make a shorter? I don't know. They always do this. They always put tactical rocks there. I guess I just like to add a little bit more dynamism to the base, but it also makes everything look the same. Like when everything has a tactical rock to stand on. Sometimes they're cool. Like the Screaming Bell on this guy is cool. It just looks really good. But sometimes it's literally just some fucking rubble or a rock. That's kind of boring. I do really like, by the way, the sort of flame design on the back of the axes here. It's not practical in the slightest, but it looks super cool. Isn't that what it's all about? I don't know, maybe she could have been playing Elden Ring a whole lot, but like this dude just looks like a fucking strength-based user. This is a weird, okay, this is a weird, like, fit. I don't know. There's like the large holes here, but then these are flat. Not that it doesn't fit, it's just it's weird that there's so much, like, open space there in that design. I don't know. Maybe they thought it was necessary for some reason. I don't know what that reason would be, though. Okay. I think the helmet being partially obscured actually helps it here. It sort of highlights the bits that are unique and hides the bits that aren't on the helmet, which is a good choice. I'm gonna have to cut out the tactical rock that he's standing on. I am going to not glue him to the base though. Well, not glue him to the base, but not glue him to the tactical rock. We just push fit pegs to be able to push him on. That way we can take him off and paint the tactical rock with the terrain to help it sort of blend in with the basing scheme, so it doesn't look as weird. Yeah, I don't know, it's just some fucking bricks. Like, I mean, it's not like low detail or anything, it looks like good bricks, but kind of boring. Maybe I should do like a tier list of my favorite tactical rocks. We'll limit it to Age of Sigmar because I know for a fact that 40k would kill me. There's too many in that fucking game. Everybody has a tactical rock or 3. Besides, everybody likes tier list streams, right? Go. Look at this. Stand on it. You stand on it. Put your gauntlet on. So this guy is like the poster boy of the edition. He's the one that like all the concept art is showing and everything. Not concept art, all the like posters and stuff are showing. He is the Lord Terminos. I don't actually remember his rules. I did not even look at them for very long. I think I just remember looking at them and being like, yeah, he's a solid leader for the new guys. Which is good because I also like the new guys. That is him finished. Yes, stand the fuck up. You see him, you try to backstab him, you fail. He beats your ass up. He pulls out the axe. He hits you with 3 attacks that you can't dodge. He hits you with the first attack, staggers you. You try to dodge, you're mashing that dodge button. He hits you with the second attack, it staggers you again. You try to heal up, he hits you with the third while you're healing. It's all over. The next hero, and I think the last foot hero, is the Knight Questor. This one is my favorite. Lore-wise. My favorite lore-wise. The model itself, not a fan of the head. Although maybe that's just because of how they painted it. It's a face. It's not a helmet. Which means that how good it looks depends on how good the painter is at painting faces. But I remember seeing it and being like, I like everything but the head here. Take a look at the face here. I don't know. I think the hairstyle, maybe? That I'm not the biggest fan of. I think the hairstyle, it's like long, wild hair, just kind of coming down. with like a middle part. No beard. Just sort of in his face. I don't know. Lore-wise, these guys are cool. They kind of just go on a fucking holy quest for an item or for some spell. Just anything really. Like they get like a divine spirit quest basically and go to fulfill that on their own. They don't necessarily have to be with the rest of their army. Um, they're just cool. They're just cool like that. And there's also a unit called the Quester Soulsworn, which is like a whole unit of them, 6 of them. This guy and those two have great like synergy. They work together really well on the tabletop. So yeah, we're gonna use them. He's not great, but we're gonna use him regardless. 5, 36, 37. Yeah. The old one kind of just looked like a sort of more heroic style of the Liberators, with a sword instead of a hammer. It was alright. It was also just kind of an excuse for them to pump out a bunch of like unique models that they didn't want to give special rules to, but they just looked kind of cool. So anytime like they did a big event or anniversary or whatever for Age of Sigmar, they would make a Night Quester model basically. I was hoping that we might see them expand on that by making like Night Questers be a sort of whole army thing. Like you could have just a whole army of them. Or like use them as your foot troops. Just single foot troops kind of milling about on the field. But they didn't go for it, though. Maybe with the battle tome we'll see. I guess that kind of would depend on everybody having a bunch of Night Questers. Which I guess not everybody does. Although they did just get, basically delete a whole bunch of people's Stormcast Eternal models from Sacrosanct, which are like the wizard guys. So I suppose you could use those as your Night Questers in the meantime. Right. Okay. Alright. Again, still not the biggest fan of the head. Maybe it'll grow on me. Could always replace it. I'm sure I have plenty of Stormcast heads that would work instead, but I don't know. It's not bad, it's just like the hair kind of looks. It reminds me of some of the like uglier 40k Space Marine hairs, where it's sort of bowl cut looking. It's not a bowl cut, it's like long hair, but it's parted down the middle. And it's like part of it like swept into his face, those kind of obscuring parts of his face. He also just has like really sunken in eyes, which I guess is like a high detail kind of thing, and I do appreciate that detail, but I don't know, not the prettiest looking guy, which I guess might be the point. So, yeah, we'll stick with it. Mostly because I don't want to go digging for a head that would fit. Like I said, it doesn't look bad. This will look really good with like OSL, by the way. Because the like torch flame, I'm gonna have it sort of shining down on his face. That will look really good. Alright. Sword on this arm. Look. Alright. You can already see the basics of it. For a night quest, all you really need is any Stormcast with a unique looking weapon and pose. And you basically have one. They're meant to be sort of... I don't want to say they're the knight, like, I don't want to say they're the lieutenant of Stormcast, because they're not, like, role-wise, they don't really fill the role that a lieutenant does. They're like the sort of classic RPG heroes of the Stormcast range. You can kind of just get away with making them look like pretty much anything and they'll work. They don't have, like, in-game, they don't have any ranged options, so I guess you couldn't really model them with any ranged options or magic, but you could use any sword, spears, axes, hammers, as long as they just look kind of unique looking, it's fine. Front chest plate. Oh, that's a nice callback. I like that piece. It feels like it feels like kind of a fusion between the new stuff and one of the old second edition stuff. This like tabard up in the front here kind of reminds me of the older Liberator Then guys, because they had like a big tabard down the front. I like it. It's a nice touch. I've seen this model around for a bit and I just like totally forgot that was there, but I really like it. Oh, that's right, the hair, oh, the hair is modeled there, too? Ah. Yeah, okay, I guess you can't really replace the head as easily as I thought, because the hair is also on the front piece, and, like, modeled onto the head from the front as well. I guess that makes the hair look a little bit better, because it's not the sort of half shaded, it's more like fully covered. Or the face is more like fully sort of blocked out by the hair. Not quite. It's like wearing a hood, but it's hair instead. I think I'd prefer if it was just a hood, personally. Um, like if it was just a hood, I think that'd look cooler, frankly. But the hair is alright. It's not bad. I just think a hood would be cooler. Um, like, not fully done, but you can already see like what I'm talking about, right? Focus on the sun more. It's hair, like that's hair, not a hood. But it's got the same effect as if it was a hood, so I don't get why they didn't just make it a hood instead. Because I think a hood would just look cooler on the Stormcast. I don't know. Weird design. Oh shit, weird design decision. I can like tell we're gonna fuck it up every time. Back cape. Wait, did they model a hood onto the back cape? They did. They modeled a hood on him. Why? Why not just make the hood up? Why not just have the hood up? I don't get it. Why not just have the hood up? It looks cooler anyway. I don't get it. So weird to me. Cut out the shield while we're at it too. Just keep the hood on him and just put the. I don't get it. The hood looks better. It just looks better up. Maybe they're like, we have too many hooded Stormcast already. If we add another one, people will just use their old one as proxy. We can't be doing that because we're a company and we need to squeeze as much money out of people as possible. That actually might be it. Because there's a model that I'm thinking of specifically from one of the Underworld Warband, which are no longer playable in main 2022 Age of Sigmar anymore. Like, they don't have rules for. Well, they have rules, but they're legend. So, if you were playing them before, you can't play them anymore. And one of them was a Stormcast, like one of the Stormcast ones had a Stormcast with a with their hood up, with like a lantern, and I don't remember what was in their other hand because it's been so long since I've seen that warband, and I don't have them. But like, it's close enough to this guy that if you wanted one that was like real close design-wise, and you didn't want to buy the box just for this guy, you could just get that old Underworld warband and have essentially the same thing. Now that I'm saying that out loud, the only difference between that model and this model then would just be that one has the hood up. So you could still use that model, and if anything, it might even look cooler because it's got the hood up, instead of the hood down with his hair out, like this guy does. I don't know. I don't know what they were cooking. It's not even like that big of a deal, because like I literally don't care that much. It's such a minor nitpick, but I just think it'd look cooler with the helmet up, or with the hood up. I don't know. Maybe it says quite a bit about the design of these guys, but the most major nitpick is I don't like tactical locks, and this guy's hood should be up. So there's some pretty minor complaints, all things told. The hood down's not bad. Maybe it's just because of the angle that they take the picture at, where you really can't see the hood, but I kind of like it up, down. Just don't love the hair. Shield goes like... What? Okay. There we go. Alright. We'll put them on base. Hold on. So, with these, and with a lot of these guys, they have like base filler pieces. You're not going to put those down at all. They just get in the way. I don't like them. I would rather have the open space for the rainbow bases instead. So this guy has like an extra peg open. We'll just fill it with like green stuff or something when we go to paint the base. And we'll just, yeah, I don't give a shit. Yeah. Turned out really good. That is it for the foot heroes then, right? I think so. We've got the 2 here, 3 here, with the Griff Crow. And we've got, what do we have for? The Raiders, there's what, 10 of them? right? Yeah. Warlord and Lobbies, that's one of the mounted heroes. Blood Blaster, which is, I think, technically not a hero, but it might as well be one. Veils, Clan Rat. Oh, they've got little options for, like, making them look more like other clans. That's neat. I like that. So they've got like a little extra helmet for the leaders and some options for is that just for the leader or is that for the that might just be for the leader. But they have like an option for extra head. You can make like a Scryer clan or Scryer clan rat leader and Pestilence clan rat leader or whatever. Okay. Ooh, we should build out the terrain too. Let's do the Skaven mounted guy. Interested in seeing what detail they've added to that thing. Three. 1, 2, 3, yeah. This mount is fucking horrific looking, by the way. So I think we'll just build the hero model on screen, and I'll build the just regular book guide on my own time because a lot of them are gonna look the same, especially the clan rats. They're gonna look the same, and there won't be like much to see. But only 2 more hero models. This one and the other, the Stormcast mounted one. It's wild to me that like in this box of Skaven versus Stormcast, where Skaven are meant to just vastly outnumber their opponents, the Stormcast have more heroes, technically, than the Skaven do. Like, I don't know, it's just weird. I mean, I've always felt like Stormcast should be a more hero-heavy army, like, it should be about having, like, a bunch of heroes and then some regular foot guys here and there as well. But, like, nobody ever builds them like that as far as I can tell. Like, when playing, they don't, like, build their lists around that idea, except for me, I do. Cause, I don't know. Because for the longest time, you only ever played, like, the 2 or 3 best Stormcast heroes that you had available to you, and then whatever the best unit was, and then whatever battle line tax you needed to take. Granted, This is like, we're talking like extreme competitive where people are trying to win and they're willing to just spam the best thing at the time. Um, More casualists would take stuff like a whole bunch of slow ass annihilators, plus some heroes to buff them. Um, I always took as many heroes as I physically could. Um, which is not generally the winning strategy, but it's fun for me, damn it. Like, the Stormcast heroes just look so much better than their regular foot guys, and they're so much cooler and fun to paint. I don't know. I just can't not put all the effort into painting the heroes, and then leave the rest of the guys to fucking languish. Alright. That be done. The front half of him. The real ugly half. Oh. 4, 5, 6. Okay. I always forget that this model has a fucking gat. He just got a little pistol. The guy on the mount. He keeps it drawn at all times. Pistol grip. Pistol pump grip. Is that it? Or pistol grip pump, yeah. On his lap at all times. I thought that was funny. It would have been funnier if I got it right the first time, I think. Or if I put more enthusiasm in it, maybe. I think it'll be a lot more interesting of a stream to paint them than it is to sort of sit here and put them together, because I feel like maybe a little hard to tell what I'm even doing on this stream, because all you really see is me just sort of like doing something. So I think it'll be more interesting to see me paint them down the line. We'll probably start with one of the heroes that we're putting together tonight. Which one do I want to do first, though? Probably the Night Quester. I want to see if I can make that face look good. And because it would pair well with the Quester Soulsworn. Be sure the ones that I painted a while ago. Speaking of which, I did not post them to my Instagram. That's my bad. I will do so. I will rectify this mistake soon. I promise. I don't know if it works, but put an extension on here to link to my Instagram. So you should be able to find my Instagram from this Twitch stream and immediately go and check it out. Like and follow there too, I guess. And while you're at it, if you're liking and following, I do also post all my VODs on a YouTube channel. I think the channel is just the same name. So that way they don't get, deleted forever by Twitch. So the easiest way for my attention is, of course, on this string, or by knowing me in real life, but then you have to know me in real life, and yeah. This thing goes like this. Yeah, okay. Kind of a weird piece, like the sternum area of the model. If it fits right in, it fits right in. It's like if this thing, okay, it's so weird. It's like if they took a rat, put it on all four, or put it on all, like, 2 legs, like a person, and then, like they proportioned it so that it could stand on 2 legs like a person could, and then made it stand on 4 legs anyways. So weird looking. So it's like hunched over because it's got arms instead of feet for its front, and it's got like a sternum, like a pronounced sternum and collarbone, like if it could stand on 2 legs. But then it moves around on 4 legs, like I in the trailer that they showed, where they had this thing moving around. It moves around on 2 legs. So I don't know, it's fucking weird. The flaky model, they really played up the horror with this Skaven, which is good, because I think sometimes people forget that they're not just goofy Dr. Doofenshmirtz, they're like actually kind of fucking horrific. Goes like this. Yeah, okay. Go. In terms of like weirdest mounts in the game, this is probably one of them. Giant bipedal rat creature that's been forced to stand on 4 legs instead of 2 legs like it's clearly designed to. Weird. Not as weird as the cabbage, but definitely out there. You're wondering what I mean by the cabbage. I'm talking about the Mega Boss on Maw Crusher in Iron Jaws. So the default color scheme that they like painted it on their website is green. It just looks like a giant fucking iceberg lettuce. Insane. It's so goofy looking. It looks cool as hell, but like it's also really silly. You know, very, very orc-like in that way. 7 and 8. And 9 for the big base coating. I do think the way they seem to be doing it, at least for these Skaven ones, where the base coating that they've got, like, takes up most of the base, I think that's a better way to do it than with the Stormcast, where it's just kind of like a tactical rock here or there. And it looks kind of ugly. Like a pre-made base like covering I think is a lot better than like some scatter that you're supposed to build a base around. I wish, like, I think they should commit more to the like full-size base coating, or base topping, or whatever they want to call it. Or stop adding in tactical rocks that are tiny and just there to make the guy slightly taller than the guy next to him. You want your guy to look taller than the guy next to him give him a goofy hat. Or any kind of like headpiece thing. Flag, backpack flag, whatever you want to do. One of those like old samurai flag, winged hussar flag. Or trying to think what else would be cool. Making them float, that would be cool. But kind of niche. Only if they like are flying. I don't think I should circle back around and do that tier list for tactical rocks in Age of Sigmar. I do think it'd be very funny. And to give me a chance to like look at more models. I'm trying to think like, there are plenty of units with like tactical rocks or models with tactical rocks in like every army in Age of Sigmar. Trying to think who doesn't have anything that wouldn't have a tactical rock. It would be multiple criteria. Mostly how unique it is, how obnoxious it is, and how easy it is to ignore and just do something else instead for that model. That third criteria might be the hardest of the three to grade, just because I don't know the sprues of every model at the back of my hand. Because some stuff gets put onto the tactical rock, like you can leave their foot off, which means that you can just leave the tactical rock off the base. You don't have to take them because the foot doesn't have to connect to it. You can just connect it onto the base. Then some stuff, the foot is modeled attached to the rock, so you have to either somehow cut away the rock from the foot, which is hard and could potentially really damage the model, or just deal with it and like use the tactical rock. So yeah, how unique it is of a tactical rock, how obnoxious it looks, like how noticeable it is. Thought I heard something. Okay. That might share move? Oh, might be an next door neighbor. I don't even think you can be heard on the microphone. Yeah, I think there's just somebody moving around outside. Alright. Okay. Oh, my third criteria should be how necessary the rock is to make the model work. So, how unique it is, how obnoxious it is, and how necessary it is for the model to work. That would be my criteria for a tier list of tactical rocks. Because there are some models that do not need that rock. They can just stand on the fucking base. And then there are some models that are like held up by the goddamn terrain. Um, bam, bam. Like this, I think really works because it's like an entire diorama almost of its own, rather than just being like a tiny rock that a character is kind of lifting their foot up with. Like this tells a story, you know? It's like a ruined creature, or like a creature kind of wandering through the ruins, you know? That's the only issue is with a tier list of tactical rocks is I would have to compile all the models in the game that have tactical rocks. There are plenty. Trust me, it is not a mean calorie then. They really usually add that shit to everything. Big. Ah, there we go. Okay. Like, look at that. I don't know. That just makes it look really nice. That it's put together like that. Like, I don't even have to do anything to the rest of the base. It's all done for me. Alright. Oh. I forgot to put the guy on it. They're the lighter. I forgot about that. Alright. Got a big old trophy rack on his back. Looking kind of spare though. Not much on it. Gotta find more trophies. Oh, that's meant to go inside though. That is weird. Why would you model it? Okay. I don't know why they model it like that. Then again, I'm not exactly a modeler, so I don't really know. Trying to figure out if he's got like a extra horn coming out of his. Looks like it. Looks like he's got an extra like horn coming out of his head here. I thought that was a helmet at first. They made a rat omen. They really did just play fucking Elden Ring and were like, yeah, this is our jam now. We're just gonna make AOS look like Elden Ring, the tabletop game, but with our own spin on it. Makes me wonder if they do have like a Souls-like game in the like down the pipe as a potential Age of Sigmar like video game. It might be cool to see. I feel like there's like some real potential in that, you know? Especially with like Stormcast basically just being Dark Souls protagonists already. Where they're kind of undead-like and effectively immortal, but every time they die, they lose something. Until they eventually fucking go hollow. Not one-to-one, but it's pretty close. And I feel like you could make a pretty solid FromSoft-like, you know, Elden Ring or Dark Souls-like game out of that. With a Stormcast protagonist going through defeating. Probably wouldn't want them to defeat like named characters in Age of Sigmar necessarily, but maybe you just make up a bunch of new characters for each faction and you're like, yep, here's your bosses. You know, so that way they're not killing Ushuan, the Summer King, or anything, but they are fighting like a herald of Ushuan who's got a similar vibe. The gat. Not the giat, just the gat. Suppose if we do install a AOS tier list, who's got the best giat would also be a pretty fucking good one. That'd just be funny. That's pretty done. Got the best giat in the mortal realm. I can't do that. Sigvald would win. And they're like, wouldn't even be close. He fucking knows it. He's got his ass hanging out. We'll have to think of a different tier list, like a meme tier list. Maybe who's got the best serving cunt energy. And we'll just ban Sigvald. Again, he would just win. I guess the point isn't that you win a tier list, you just go high on a tier list. I guess we could still do that. Sigvald would just rank S or whatever. Like the, I don't know, absolute slut he is. It goes right up in front. It's weird. Although I'm noticing some of the plastics look a bit bent looking, so maybe that's why it's kind of weird. Yep. Good. What time is it? I want to spend the time to build the mounted guy. A lot of parts. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's too many parts. We'll end the stream then tonight. I'll just build them some other time, even if it is a really cool looking model. And then I'm feeling kind of tired. Yeah. Okay. I had to take stretching breaks more often while I'm streaming. Okay. Yeah. I'll end it for the night. Overall verdict on 4th edition and the Skaven type box is really high. I like it. I think it's just gonna be a good game. A good edition of the game. I also really like Spearhead. I think Spearhead's gonna be really popular. At least in my local area, I know for sure it's gonna be popular. Yeah, there's a lot of people that like playing Warhammer, but they don't really like spending 2 or 3 hours on Warhammer. So being able to shorten it down to like about an hour is, I think, gonna be really popular. What else? Stuff is tankier just across the board, like stuff doesn't die. So I think the meta, just from what I'm seeing, and like what I'm sort of feeling in the game, is going to be sort of large blocks of guys. Rather than like big monsters or like the heaviest hitters. Yeah. Obviously, I know people like playing the heaviest hitters, and I enjoy playing heavy hitters every so often too. But I don't think it's like gonna come down to or be all about who has the heaviest hitters in any given army. I think objective control, like how many guys can control an objective at any given time, is going to matter quite a bit more. Quite a bit more than I think people on the internet have been expecting. Being able to squeeze out an extra like point of objective control over your opponent here or there is going to really matter. Most things in the game are objective control 1. most foot heroes are objective control 2, and most monsters are objective control 5. So it's pretty much like you get what you have, and that's about it. I think Mega Gargant might be objective control 15, if I remember right. I'd have to look at them, because I haven't really looked at them. But because they're like one unit on the objective at any given time, like they have to have a high one, otherwise they will just lose every time because the opponent just out controls an objective, outscores for them. Yeah, I think beyond Mega Guardians, I think like having more guys is going to matter quite a bit. Which is, I think, good in tandem with the fact that pretty much everything is a bit more expensive than it was in third. So, having those, like having everybody be more expensive means that you're not able to like just clog up the board with over 200 models. Like even the armies that could do that in the past aren't able to do that as easily without sacrificing a whole bunch of extra bonuses to like their ability to fight or their defensive ability. And part of the reason you want them out there is for those defensive abilities if you're running like 200 guys. So we'll see. Not having to deal with battle shock anymore is so nice. I can't stress how great it is to not have to give a shit about battle shock anymore. Cause I don't hate it, but it always either mattered way too much or way too little, and how much it mattered depended entirely on what you were playing. So like Stormcast, it didn't matter until it did, and when it did, it was really bad that it mattered. Because you really don't have that many guys, and losing 2 or 3 just because of a bad roll, like one bad roll, is devastating for your army. But then, like, conversely, if you're playing Soulblight Gravelord, it doesn't matter that you lost, you know, it doesn't matter that you have objective control 10. You're basically always losing a few guys to battle shock because you guys just get cut through so often. Like, it's always possible to lose a few guys, even if you roll really well. So, I don't know. Not having to worry about it, I think, is nice. It just means that those models stay on the board. They don't lose. You don't, like, have to get rid of them because you rolled poorly one time. Yeah. The damage system, like counting up the damage and how they've sort of explained it, it feels smoother than the way it was. But it honestly hasn't changed that much. It mostly just means that you allocate damage to a unit and not to an individual model. But sometimes your unit is a single model, so it doesn't change anything there. I hate having to count damage up just because my brain always, like, I've grown up playing video games. Every health bar in every video game ever starts from 100 and goes down to 0. And in Age of Sigmar, it starts the damage at 0 and it goes up until it hits your maximum health. And then that unit dies. So it's like the exact opposite. It's contrary to what like pop culture games have taught me health is like. So I have to like forcibly remind myself. But this isn't new to 4th edition. This is like they've always expected you to count up, um, rather than down. I just like they've just more efficiently like codified it in the rules and made it like make sense more in the rules. Which good on them for making it make sense, I suppose. Oh man, I'm yawning. Yawning quite a bit. That is the sign for me to wrap it up. So we are going to do that. Have a fantastic rest of the night. If you're interested in Age of Sigmar, if you're interested in either Stormcast or Skaven, I would recommend checking out the box. If you like both, like me, you can get the box and just build both, but like, don't need to. Building it with a friend is nice. It comes with, I should explain, it comes with a lot. It comes with a board, like a game board, to play Spearhead on. It comes with all of the terrain you need for Spearhead. It comes with the book of rules for Spearhead, including rules for every single Spearhead army that they've got, like the pre-built army. Like all the war scrolls for them, all of the extra rules for them, any extra like choices that you get to make with them. It comes with the twist deck and 2 battle tactic decks, one for each player. Obviously you saw on the sheet here, it has the measuring stick that comes with the terrain brew. Like, it basically got everything. That's like just for Spearhead that we're talking about. It also comes with the General Handbook rules and General Handbook cards, like Battle Tactic card, and cards for every General Handbook battle plan, and a battle plan scoring sheet, for like being able to score your game. And it comes with the core rules, and it comes with all those models. It's a ton, like it's a ton of stuff. It is loaded to the gills. And I mean, for over $200, I would want it to be. Like I would expect it to be if it's going to be. I think the price is $260. Most places you'll probably be able to get a discount to $250 if I had to take a guess. For $250,000, yeah, I would hope that it comes with all this stuff. I think it's an actually like good deal, which is wild because Games Workshop does not generally do good deals. They tend to be pretty fucking stingy and overpriced with their models. You get a ton of models. You get the 25, no. You get over 30 Stormcast models. And you get a 20, 40, well over 50 Skaven models. That's somewhere in the like 80s. And you get terrain. Which most boxes do not come with terrain. So it's just really fucking nice. I don't know, it's just a ton of shit. And that's not counting the rules that are like adding on and all the cards and decks and stuff. And the like 2 hardcover books that they throw in there. Just good. It's a good deal. Put it with a friend. It's like probably the easiest box. Like you buy this box, you basically have enough for you and a friend to get started playing Warhammer, Age of Sigmar. Like you don't need to buy anything else except for dice. It doesn't come with dice, I guess. So like all you need are D6s, so you don't even need that much. Yeah. Anyway, have a wonderful rest of the night.